Look, when David Goggins weighed 300 pounds, worked killing cockroaches, and hated himself, he discovered something that not only turned him into a Navy SEAL, but when applied to personal finance, it can make you a millionaire. I'm going to tell you what the 40% rule is, and how you can use it every day to generate more money than you ever thought possible. Friend, sit down, because what you're about to hear can change your financial future forever. What separates people who achieve financial freedom from those who stay stuck isn't luck. It's not a trust fund. It's something much deeper. David Goggins was overweight, broke, and emotionally destroyed, but he discovered a principle that transformed his life, and it can transform your finances too. The 40% rule says that when you feel like you've hit your limit, you're only using 40% of your real capacity, and that changes everything. How to apply the 40% rule to your finances. 1. Discipline to earn extra income. When you feel like you've worked enough for the day, that's your 40%. True change starts after that. There are people who, even after a long shift, refuse to give up. They build businesses in those tired hours. And that's where wealth is born. 2. Control your spending. When your mind says, "I deserve it," that's your 40%. I know someone who was about to buy a new car, but instead he asked himself what a future millionaire would do, and used that money to take a trading course. He later made 10 times what the car would have cost. Radical saving. When you think you're already saving enough, you're still stuck in your 40%. A young woman earning $800 a month managed to save $200 of it by applying this mindset. 2 years later, that savings helped her launch her own business. 4. Investing beyond fear. Your mind will scream, "It's too risky." But that fear, that's your 40%. The remaining 60% sees opportunity where others see danger. 5. Sustained hard work. Goggins didn't stop. He woke up at 4 a.m., trained, studied, worked. He knew that real power begins where the brain says, "Enough." Do you know how many people quit right before their breakthrough? Most, because they stay in their 40%. 6th, extreme abundance mindset. When the world says there's no money or the economy is crashing, the 60% sees opportunities. During the pandemic, while many people were panicking, some applied the 40% rule. They invested in undervalued assets, and now they're worth 3 times more. Let's be honest. Applying the 40% rule is hard. Your brain will resist. It will give you excuses. It will beg you to stay comfortable. But that's where dreams go to die, in comfort. Growth is born in discomfort. Every time your brain says, "I can't do this," ask yourself, am I in my 40%? What would someone who truly wants to be wealthy do right now? When you think you've saved enough, ask, what can I cut that I thought was impossible to live without? When you're too tired to keep going, ask, what could I do in the next 2 hours to earn just a little more? When fear holds you back from investing, ask, what opportunity am I losing by staying in my comfort zone? Here's the truth. People who reach financial freedom understand that their real potential only shows up after their mind says, "I can't do this anymore." Goggins says 90% of success is mental. In finance, it's even more true because money isn't just numbers. It's a reflection of your mindset. I saw a guy earning $1,000 a month. His mind told him it was impossible to get rich, but he worked 4 extra hours a day on a side hustle, lived like he made $600, and invested every extra dollar. Now he owns a company and makes more in 1 month than he used to in a year. What made the difference? He didn't stop at 40%. When his mind said, "You're done," he answered, "This is where my future begins." Let me ask you one question that could define your entire financial future. How much longer will you let your mind keep you stuck at just 40% of your potential? Your financial freedom doesn't depend on how much you make right now, how old you are, or where you come from. It depends on whether you're willing to go further than your comfort zone allows. When you feel like quitting, that's where your real path begins. You can keep living in the 40% of your financial potential with the same excuses, the same fears, and the same results. Or you can decide right now to apply the 40% rule to your life. Work when you don't feel like it. Save when it's uncomfortable. Invest when it's scary, because on the other side of your comfort zone is your financial freedom and the version of you that you've always known you could become. The choice is yours, but time won't wait. Your millionaire future is waiting for you to unlock that 60% of potential you've been keeping dormant. So, what will you choose?